Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time to take a look at this week's news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We start this week's show with tremendously sad news from Albany, New York. 1984 Olympic Greco-Roman champion Jeff Blatnick has passed away at the age of 55. Details about his death are not currently available, but we will update you on next week's program. Blatnick was one of the greatest wrestlers in American history. He won a gold medal at the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles and was a true member of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team, which did not compete due to the boycott of the Moscow Games. He became a national hero after winning his gold medal in Los Angeles after overcoming Hodgkin's disease, a form of cancer. Blatnick was selected by his teammates in all sports on Team USA to carry the flag at the closing ceremonies of the Los Angeles Olympics. Blatnick was inducted as a distinguished member of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in 1999. He served as a USA Wrestling State Chairman in New York, leading the USA Wrestling program in his native state. Blatnick was a high school state champion in New York at Niskayuna High School, and he competed for the legendary Doug Parker at Springfield College, where he was a two-time Division II national champion, a three-time All-American. At the time, Division II athletes could advance to the Division I Nationals, and he was also a two-time Division I All-American, placing third in the 1979 NCAA Championships and sixth in the 1978 NCAA Championships. Under Coach Joe DeMaio and many others, his Greco-Roman career was outstanding. He and his Olympic teammate Steve Frazier were the first two Americans to win Olympic gold medals in Greco with their titles in Los Angeles. After his wrestling career, Jeff made a career as a television announcer, served as a color commentator for Olympic Games on numerous occasions for NBC. He was also an announcer for the NCAA Wrestling Championships for many years, most recently making the call for ESPN. Jeff was also a respected motivational speaker. Blatnick was an amazing friend of USA Wrestling, a true champion on and off the mat, and a leader as well. His inspiring life has impacted so many people who knew him. USA Wrestling passes on condolences to the family and friends of Jeff Blatnick. We already miss him and choose to celebrate his life at this very sad time.
You know, it's somewhat of a dark day for the sport of wrestling. We lost a true hero and legend today, and obviously the entire hearts and minds of the entire wrestling community goes out to Lori and Jeff's family for this tremendous loss. And I mean, Jeff was a true warrior and a true competitor and a true leader within our sport. I mean, someone that gave back not only on the mat, gave back administratively, one of our strongest state leaders in the state of New York, and somebody that really lived his commitment to the sport. And obviously, you know, it's going to be tough for us to recover from this, but we will. I mean, obviously, Jeff's legacy will live on, but certainly lost a true great today.
Well, the new Olympic season starts off in the U.S. with the 2012 edition of the storied New York Athletic Club International. The event is set for November 9th and 10th at Manhattan's famous New York Athletic Club in New York City. A very strong international field is expected with U.S. competitors and those from around the world. All three international styles will be on display. Friday, November 9th, Greco-Roman and women's freestyle action will take place, followed by men's freestyle on Saturday the 10th. Well, it's too early to know which top Americans will enter as pre-registration is just getting started, but some of the early entrants include Greco-Roman Olympian Spencer Mango at 121 pounds, Justin Lester at 145 pounds, and the big man Dramil Bayer at 286 pounds, all from the U.S. Army team. U.S. athletes can register either online or on site for the tournament. Online registration for the event ends Wednesday, November 7th at 7 o'clock Eastern. Well, 2011 was a strong field for Greco-Roman at this event. Among the champs, 2012 Olympians, Ellis Coleman at 132 pounds, and then 264-pound Dramil Byers. At 185 pounds, the Polish strongman Damian Janikowski competed well and went on to win an Olympic bronze medal that year. In women's freestyle, two who went on to win 2012 world titles include Adeline Gray of the U.S. at 147 pounds and Canada's 195-pound star Jessica McDonald. The men's freestyle tournament featured 4 U.S. and 3 Russian champions. Among the Americans to win were past U.S. World Team members Reese Humphrey at 132 and 145 5-pound Dustin Schlater. Right before today's scheduled production, the news hit that there will also be a USA versus Russia men's freestyle dual meet held in conjunction with the New York AC International. The continuing tradition of the U.S. versus Russia duels go back now some 50 years when the two nations began hosting international meets on both sides of the Iron Curtain. Last year, a USA versus Mongolia men's and women's freestyle dual meet took place in Brooklyn, New York. The U.S. bested the Mongolians 5-4. Later in the year, the U.S. faced the Russian squad in New York's famous Times Square in a men's freestyle meet. The United States won again, this time by 3, the final score 5-2. Wrestling's growing popularity continues to show in America's largest city. This year, a U.S. versus Russia dual meet is set for Sunday, November 11th at the Mack Center at Hofstra University in Hempstead, Long Island. The day will feature a clinic with USA Wrestling's national freestyle coaches Zeke Jones and Brandon Slay, as well as Bill Zanuck. Scheduled for a 1 o'clock start, the clinic is titled How Freestyle Wrestling Will Make You a Better Folk-Style Wrestler. Slay and Jones can attest. Slay was a 2000 Olympic gold medalist, Jones a 1992 Olympic silver medalist. Jones was also a 91 world champion, and Zanuck a 2006 world champ. The dual meet will follow at 2. The lineups for each nation have not been announced, but you can expect many of the top caliber international competitors to take part. Well, it was November of 2010. The U.S. and Russia last battled at Hofstra. If you recall, the U.S. scored an impressive 6-1 freestyle victory in front of thousands of fans. The U.S. winners included then Sean Bunch at 60 kilos, Brent Metcalf at 66 kilos, Trent Paulson at 74, Jake Herbert at 84, J.D. Bergman at 96, and Tervel Delegnev at 120 kilos. All eventual U.S. World Team members, with Herbert and Delegnev competing at the 2012 Olympic Games for the USA. Reminder fans, you can watch both the New York AC International and the U.S. versus Russia dual meet live by watching themat.com and its video portal, themat.tv. Next week, we should have the complete U.S. lineups. Get your tickets right now by calling 516-463-8499 or visiting gohofstra.com. Well, USA Wrestling has promoted Les Gutches to the new position of Associate Executive Director of Programs and Strategy. In January of 2010, Gutches joined USA Wrestling as the Director of Program Development. In his new position, Gutches is now responsible for overall wrestling programming, alignment of departmental objectives, and strategy, specifically within national teams, developmental programs, and membership. Gutches, a 1997 freestyle world champ and a 96 Olympian, continues a lifetime of excellence in the sport as an athlete, coach, and administrator. Over the past 3 years under Gutch's direction, USA Wrestling State Services has had an incredible level of support to the state organizations. USA Wrestling Memberships has enjoyed new records for membership in athletes, coaches, event sanctions, and club charters with Gutch's leadership. Les becomes USA Wrestling's second Associate Executive Director, joining Associate Executive Director for Administration, Dwayne Cooper. His athletic resume is impressive indeed. 3 state high school titles, USA Wrestling national titles on the cadet, junior, and esprit, university and senior levels as well. A cadet world silver medal, 2 NCAA titles for Oregon State, along with the Hodge Trophy as the nation's top wrestler. He was one of the best freestyle wrestlers in the world with the 1997 world title, a 1999 world bronze medal, a 96 Olympic berth, and a gold medal in the World Cup, the Pan American Games, and the Goodwill Games as well. Les talked to us about his thoughts and the challenges ahead.
I'm excited. I've been working with the grassroots for the last 3 years and our membership in our states, and I really think it's an opportunity to connect both ends of the organization and really make sure that each step on the way from a kid first putting on his shoes to laying him on the mat after he retires from wrestling, and making sure that all those steps are connected and that they all line up.
Well, stay tuned. There's more. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Next, we go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum held its annual inductions into the Alan and Gloria Rice Greco-Roman Hall of Champs. Many of the great American Greco-Romans in history were honored, and the legacy of the sport was recognized at the Kennedy Center on the campus of Augsburg College. Alan and Gloria Rice, namesakes of the hall, have been instrumental to the success of Greco-Roman wrestling in the U.S. John Bartis served as the event's master of ceremonies. He served as a team leader for the U.S. Greco-Roman Olympic team in 2008 and the 2007 U.S. World Team, which won the World Team title, the only time the U.S. has won this great honor. John was also a junior national champ in Greco-Roman. Well, Dennis Kozlowski was the first American wrestler to win 2 Olympic medals in the sport. He was a college star at Minnesota Morris and won a bronze medal at the 1988 Olympic Games and a silver medal in '92 at 220 pounds. He was also a 1987 world silver medalist. Kozlowski also served a stint as the USA Wrestling National Greco-Roman coach, helping build the American program.
I'd like to thank the Hall. This is quite an honor. It's like home week for me. Wayne Bachman was my first World Team coach in '81. Mike Howe, Dan Chandler, all the Minnesota guys, also Marcy. Just a lot of great memories there.
The other inductee was the great heavyweight Matt Ghaffari, who helped establish the U.S. as a world power internationally. Ghaffari, who attended Cleveland State, won 4 world-level medals during his career, including a silver medal at the '96 Olympic Games in Atlanta, where he lost a nail-biter to 3-time Olympic champion Alexander Karelin of Russia. Ghaffari won world silver medals in '91 and '98 and a world bronze medal in 1995.
Thank you for having me here. Olympics have been a big part of me. I always wanted to represent this country and my sport with honor. I think the greatest athletes, greatest businessmen, unfortunately had the article about wrestlers make great employees. We all just discipline and we do our best we can. And we are satisfied, and we are not like prima donna anthems. Wrestling is a humbling sport, great fraternity. And we always had shirts that says, rather wrestle and lost than play basketball. And it's still true. Thank you for having me here. It's a great honor.
Well, Ghaffari and Kozlowski joined Rulon Gardner, Steve Frazier, Jeff Blatnick, Mike Houck, Dennis Hall, and Joe Warren in this elite hall. Well, the Hayes-Winkle family received the Legacy Award for its amazing contributions to the sport and to Greco-Roman wrestling in particular. Identical twins Dave and Jim Hayes-Winkle were members of the 1968 and 1972 U.S. Greco-Roman teams, and both were on 6 consecutive World and Olympic teams together. Dave was the first American to win 2 world medals in Greco-Roman, a bronze in '69 and a silver in 1970. Dave's son Sam started his international career as a Greco-Roman star, winning 2 U.S. Open titles and placing second at the 2008 Olympic trials. He switched to freestyle in 2009 and went on to make the 2012 U.S. Olympic team in freestyle at 121 pounds.
In this room, there's so many, I'm speaking to the choir. I mean, you guys have all been there, you're doing what's right, and we appreciate it. I'm starting to go in circles, so I'm going to step down. But we really do appreciate this award, and thank you so much. Keep on doing what you're doing. We love it, and we'll be around.
Retired U.S. Air Force coach Wayne Bachman received the Alan Rice Leadership Award for his contributions to the advancement of the sport. Bachman won 16 national titles during his career in 4 different styles, including collegiate, freestyle, Greco-Roman, and Sambo. He was also a member of the '64, '68, and '72 Greco-Roman Olympic teams for the U.S. Bachman coached the 1976 Freestyle Olympic team to 6 medals.
You know, wrestling is nothing but he who dies with the most experiences and the most friends wins. And wrestling gives you a lot of opportunity, I think, for both experiences and friends. So thank you very much.
All in all, it was a great day for American wrestling and Greco-Roman. Honoring its past champions, well, they set a level of excellence for the future success on the international level. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. We'll be right back.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, the women's college season is off to a start, and it took place at the Cliff Keen Oklahoma City Duels last weekend at the Abe Lemons Arena at Oklahoma City University. A record 16 women's college national teams came to compete in a dual meet tournament. All the teams had at least 6 bouts, and the top women's programs battled for early season supremacy. When it was over, host Oklahoma City captured the team title, defeating arch rival King College in the finals 26-10. Although OCU is the 4-time defending WCWA Women's National Champ, going into the event, King College held the number 1 ranking, OCU number 2. OCU won 7 of the 10 bouts to retain its grip on the top spot at the college level. The Stars showed dominance in the upper weight classes, winning 6 of the final 7 bouts. Among the heroes for OCU, Brittany Roberts at 155 pounds. She defeated longtime rival Julia Salata of King in their bout 5-0-2-0. Roberts went on an impressive 5-0 streak for the weekend and was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week for her achievement. Among the winners for OCU in the finals duel were returning WCWA national champions Emily Webster at 101 pounds and Joey Miller at 116 pounds. Wins for King came from returning WCWA national champion Krista Ravel at 143 pounds and last year's WCWA national runner-up Sarah Hildebrand at 123. Lindenwood took 3rd place with a victory in the medal round over Missouri Valley College. Simon Fraser defeated Jamestown in the 5th place bout, while the Cumberland stopped Wayland Baptist for 7th place. OCU coach Archie Randall talks about the team's big win at OCU Duels.
We wrestled a little bit sluggish the first day, second day in the brackets, after the pools in the brackets, so we wrestled really well every match. We wrestled well all the way through, and in the final match we upset number 1 King. We won 7 out of the 10 matches.
Right alongside the competition, an important USA Wrestling meeting took place. National women's coach Terry Steiner held a college coaches summit with all the women's college coaches in attendance. He shared the overall women's national team plan with the coaches as well as the national curriculum and worked with the coaches on ways to help strengthen the U.S. on the international level. Coach Steiner talked to us about the summit.
I felt very comfortable. I think the coaches felt good about what was done. And I think it was a start. Now, we're going to have to work things out as we go. It's going to be a work in progress, but it's a start, and I think we're definitely on the right track.
Well, wrestling hero Anthony Robles has been on a national tour promoting his new book, Unstoppable. You may have seen him recently during his interviews on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno or in a recent segment with ESPN. Robles is an inspiring athlete who was born without a leg. He was able to develop himself into an NCAA wrestling champ for Arizona State. He's truly one of the most popular people in the wrestling community and has been a tremendous representative for our sport. During a recent visit to New York City, Robles took the time to visit with athletes, coaches, and leaders with the Beat the Streets New York program. He has a strong connection with the organization, where he was named the Beat the Streets Man of the Year for his contributions to the sport. In addition to providing an inspiring message for the young people in attendance, Robles met with the students, posed for numerous photos, and signed copies of his book. Here is some of the message which Robles shared with the Beat the Streets athletes.
some champs on my team. That's what they showed me. They said, you got to work harder. You're not working hard enough to get what you want. So I know you guys got those dreams. If you want to wrestle in college, whatever it is, athletics, school, whatever, just make sure you're working hard, you're paying the price to get it. And if it helps, write it down like I did. Write down your dream, because they come true.
All of us at USA Wrestling would like to congratulate one of the top Greco-Roman wrestlers of the last decade or so, Justin Ruiz. He's been recently inducted into the Utah Wrestling Hall of Fame. Ruiz was a bronze medalist in the 2005 World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, and was a member of the first and only U.S. Greco-Roman team to win a World Championship in 2007. He was a 6-time U.S. World Team member, won 7 U.S. Open national titles in Greco, won 4 gold medals at the Pan American Championships, and made the Greco-Roman national team 10 times. Ruiz retired from competitive wrestling this past May after winning his final match at 211 pounds with a dramatic pin over Soso Jabidze of Georgia at the Kirby Cup in Illinois. After his retirement, he accepted the assistant coaching position at Utah Valley. Ruiz was a 3-time Utah State champion at Taylorsville High School. He won numerous national events while in high school, including the Junior Nationals and FILA Junior Nationals. Ruiz made 2 junior world teams and was the recipient of the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award in '98. Well, stay tuned. There's more. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Man, both of these guys are explosive, and it's not over. This is going to be a great match.
Well, a few weeks ago, we reported on the celebration of National Wrestling Day slated for November 3rd this year. It'll be a very busy weekend, not only within USA Wrestling, but across the nation. USA Wrestling athletes on many age levels will be in action. U.S. athletes in both men's and women's freestyle will be in British Columbia, Canada for the annual Hergobind International Championships November 2 and 3. Senior level athletes in both of these styles will battle top Canadian athletes as well as other wrestlers from other countries. A team of young athletes from U.S. Olympic Education Center Greco-Roman program at Northern Michigan University will travel to Stockholm, Sweden to compete in the FILA Junior Division of the Malar Cup in the Junior Greco-Roman Tournament. These are truly the future stars of American Greco-Roman wrestling. In addition, the USA Wrestling Preseason Nationals is set for the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, November 3rd and 4th. This folk-style wrestling event has become one of the major competitions of the nation each fall. Thousands of athletes from across the country will come together for a highly competitive event in high school, middle school, and grade school levels. On the college side, we've reported during the last few weeks about the NWCA All-Star Classic set for D.C. Many of the nation's best college stars will come together at American University for challenge bouts in all 10 college weight classes. It's also the traditional kickoff of the college wrestling season, with as many as 20 open tournaments being held across the land. Our college wrestlers are now finally getting a chance to compete after early season training. As announcer Michael Buffer is famous for saying, "What do you say? Let's get ready to rumble." Well, it's time for our USA Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in by fans and families from across the country, and they're also being considered for our photo contest page in USA Wrestler magazine, as well as for the USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week, our Photo of the Week is taken by Shane Donovan. It depicts 8-year-old Patrick Adamczyk of Hebron, Indiana, working for a fall at a tournament in Crown Point, Indiana. Have your photographs considered by simply emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Well, that'll do it for this week's program. For all of us at the studios of USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.